through it, right? That's what we want to see here. And similar as we get into the land of Dawn, players are loaded up. It's going to be Falcons AP BREN on the blue side up against Liquid Echo on red.
It's been a while since we've seen few on this Julian. A lot of the Julians in MSC from the group stage to the knockouts now have been in the jungle, and they've been good. And now I want to see how a melee ranged mid might work, because look, they sent him home early.
Yep, I think, you know, a lot of it comes with a bit of sacrifice. Yes, you have some good CC, you're a big toolbox as a mid laner, but more importantly, in the earlier stages, you're not going to have a lot of control over that mid lane.
Yep. And that's trouble for KyleTzy and Ogwyn. Look at that. KyleTzy struggling to get the farm up, going quickly, going from the purple down to that small camp all the way, while again, Ogwyn sent home too. I think they're just taking shifts.
Yep, I mean, that's the beauty of it all, right? I mean, if you dies here, then it's going to be a lot of trouble for the rest of the team. I'm expecting Liquid to try and play around that priority, so that's why we see that the side laners from FCAP being very, very aggressive whenever Kyle is nearby.
Yep, Kyle here just taking that crab, checking if Benny Cutie is free for the taken. JP watching out for the flank. All right, that's the gold lane situation. I think Marco's doing well. Up top, how about that? Flap versus Sanford, rather.
Yeah, this is going to be a little interesting, right? Because Sanford, especially when you're Paquito into Terizla, generally Terizla can control this lane clear much faster than you in the earlier stages of the game. And then once you start rolling around mid, it's a bit of a toss-up, right? It's all off of that very first turtle, who's walking away with more gold at the end of it.
Now it's spawning in just a few seconds. KyleTzy can make his way there. That is KyleTzy as well, making a beeline, rushing his way with Sanji right next to him. And I think Few is trying to get to level 4. Not that he needs it, but I think that just the scaling of his skills will help.
Oh, absolutely, right? I mean, he needs to make sure that FlapTZ is also, like, in control of this lane. More importantly, at least they do deny this.
Kyle is attempting Grand Theft Purple. He does get it, trading out for the turtle. KyleTzy secures. Ogwyn at less than half health. That's a non-starter. Neither team drawing first blood just yet.
I'm thinking whether Carl actually wants to go for the invade, but it looks like they're not going to do it. That's going to be one potential camp that they could fight later down the line. But at the same time, right, both Ogwyn and as well as Few making sure that they're sticking together because, again, not a lot of wave clear in the mid lane, allowing TLPH to make that first rotation.
And a lot of those rotations are ending up in bottom. Whether you like it or not, there's a brewing fight there. There has been for the past couple of minutes. It's just neither team are looking to engage. JP taking the long bush. I think Ogwyn is all the more aware. Neither want to pull the trigger first. Oh, here we go. KyleTzy inside FCAP's jungle. Kyle goes ahead, pulls the retry, and he's swinging away. They both let go. Oh, here comes FlapTZ, jumping in with the penalty zone. Tempest the blades up. KyleTzy, heavy spin, trying to survive. KyleTzy at a third of his health as well. KyleTzy barely standing. Either of my kids draw first blood.
It's unfortunate. Sanford, JP, and Sanji were trying to figure out where exactly he's going to exit through the jungle. And that's the meaning of having priority. I mean, great job on KyleTzy winning out on that red tree, allowing him to extend the timer for how long that purple buff is going to stick on him. Liquid Echo have to play a little slower because Kyle, he's a menace. Look at him.
JP missing the combo as KyleTzy just dancing on through, looking to take this little wanderer. Ends up spending retribution. Few very low. Sanji with the feather strike. JP popping the primordial wrath. No one home. Liquid Echo struggling to find any conversions here 4 minutes in.
And even for Super Marco, he's honestly doing a really good job trading against Benny QT down in this lane. We'll double check on how much gold has been distributed because we did see a couple of river crabs going over to Benny's side. Now, 7 seconds left, right? Next turtle is going to start spawning. I think Liquid Echo really need to think about how exactly they're going to attack the map. They can't just focus on Kyle. And yes, you want to be able to relieve pressure from Benny QT, but sacrifices need to be made.
All right. Luckily, it was Liquid Echo who secured the first turtle. So they have that economic advantage, and that's what keeps this gold lead relatively close. Falcons AP BREN barely about 600, 800 ahead. Sanford catches a face full of a Fuse combo, and FlapTZ and Ogwyn pulling turtle over their side. 1v1 between Few and Sanford, putting Sanford about a third of his health. Oh, wow. FlapTZ acting as the enforcer, keeping KyleTzy at bay.
They're going to be rotating around here. Oh, even Feather Airstrike commitment?
That's a huge skill spent by Sanji.
Oh.
We know, and Fury forces Sanji to flicker back out. KyleTzy secures the turtle, coming in, jumping through the walls. Carl takes it out on Ogwyn. That's one down for Falcons AP BREN. Now Sanford looking to knock out the Filipino cannon. In comes JP, the flicker out from Flap. Few still dueling with JP. In comes the kill. That's 2 down. 4 Falcons AP BREN. JP still up. Kyle TZ takes him out. Few takes out Sanford. Huge trades. Delayed wins for the Falcons. But Liquid Echo left reeling.
Oh boy, what a trade. What an extended fight this is. And it's not over yet.
Tempest Ablaze. No. They know his flicker was spent.
They calculated every moment. These battle spells are such a big indicator of who they want to punish, right? You overextend, you want to keep up with them. You want to make sure that they're always creeping on their leads. Let's look at this replay one more time, right? Because after the Minoan Fury, this is starting to look like an awkward situation. Sanford's realizing, hold on, we got to wait for Few to start throwing out those abilities. Once this Julian doesn't have anything left, that's when we go in.
Falcons AP BREN really made the most of the few bodies they had. If I'm not mistaken, Liquid Echo, for the most part of that short, maybe 30, 40-second engagement, had the numbers advantage.
They did, but let's pull it back for a second, because now that we're looking at the goal, we can see the real economic difference. Hold up, wow, okay. Trying to dive Super Marco like that. Hey, the bulletproof vest still on.
Yep. Has yet to die, but also has yet to take any kills. For the past 6.5 minutes, gold lane has been relatively mum. Now, checking on the items here, that is just 200 between Benny Cutie and Super Marco.
Well, considering everything, that's actually not too bad. The biggest lead that we are seeing is between the... Oh, boy.
40. Dodges it. Still alive. Gets a knockout punch.
Oh,
Kyle
no.
TZ's down. Sanford gets the KO. Outplaying Kyle TZ.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. He was stutter stepping in the wrong directions, thinking that, like, hopefully, am I still on the wall? Wait.
Few catches a couple of volleys from Sanji's feathered airstrike, lets him go. Now the turtle fight.
Yep, they're gonna have to take their time here. We're still waiting for that Minoan Fury. Oh!
The onward by JP, forced to use a primal wrath. Flat TZ, hammering away. Benny Cutie hitting that turtle to secure by Liquid Echo. Carl TZ with a heavy spin.
It's great. It's looking so good for now, but they back away. Now, with Carl TZ, he's timing. Oh!
Oh, Sanford! Oh! Dashing through the iframe, keeping him up. No! And now Kyle TZ looking for the punish. Tempest Ablaze to the sky. Finally. Kyle TZ gets 1 over 40.
I'm telling you, this game is just taking your breath away, brother. This is one of those where every single crumb is going to be fought for. And so far, Kyle TZ having the biggest lead in the game. Before we get into our next fight, this tier 1 should fall, and hopefully TLPH, they back off. They've already expanded so many resources.
Multiple wins for Liquid Echo down bottom. Forced the flicker out of Super Marco. Took the tier 1 anyways. And here's another look at that 1v1.
Oh, so beautiful, right? Like Sanford, he's thinking about the many different angles that he can go through. But the worst part about it is that if you have iframes, it's hard to land the heavy left hand to give you that extra shield. He would have loved the extra movement speed, but without that shield, he just pops.
Yep, couldn't have his cake and eat it too. He can only really move out of the way or get the shield and then maybe fight a little bit more to get some backup or maybe even kill the Ling. But now, oh no, View! The iframe out of the dash! Survives that 2v1. Now in comes Kyle TZ again. How about it? Kyle versus 40. Chapter 3. They're backing out.
All right. The trilogy isn't done just yet. Kyle might still go for this, but I think for the most part, Sanji has got him covered.
Ooh, looking to burst down that Farsa, but no, Kyle's just gonna end up taking tier 1.
Yeah, like Kyle he's so strong right now. He's so far ahead of the game in comparison to Carl TZ, but it's all about decisive action, like I said at the very beginning of the game, right? Despite Liquid Echo, we're losing out on a couple of trades. The gold lead isn't too far. They've gotten 2 turtles. They're basically trading 1 for 1 when it comes down to turns. And even during the items, right, we now are seeing Liquid Echo putting respect on FCAP's name. I'm seeing, at the very least, making sure that they've got Feather already. Wait, sorry, not even Feather. Sorry, Blood Wings coming in from Sanji to keep himself alive.
Yep, and going between the low econ heroes. Frederick was right. He mentioned that the Terizla, despite being relatively low gains. Oh no! JP come in, the flicker combo. Feather strike from Sanji. They cancel through. Down goes Benny Cutie. Marco gets his head. Sanji's down as well. Kyle TZ diving into the back line, finding him. 40 looking to flank him as well. Finds no one. Now he's the hunted. Ogwin healing them up. 40 says let's regroup. This is not a good fight to take. And that leaves Kyle TZ's purple up for them to savor. What a snap!
That's what you need to see. Decisive action time and time again. And it looks like Falcons AP BREN, they're also looking at least looking for a timing on these waves. Before that Lord spawns, we need to start taking them out.
And looks like Falcons AP BREN looking to blitz it. 40 here at a third of his health. JP in the same situation. Oh wow, 3 big bodies put up between the major objective and Falcons AP BREN. Carl-Teasy can still get this. The penalty zone coming in. The SOD, no one home. JP taken out. FLAPTeasy traded for. That's another one. Super Marco taken out by Kyle-Teasy. And there's a big knock-up. I mean, no one Fury. Sanford's down. 3 for 2. But the major objective scored by Falcons AP BREN. All this while, Benny was just working up top.
He's just farming. He's just getting that compound interest when you leave him alone in a lane, man. You can hear the money just drop it on the floor. Next tower falls. That's not too bad. But now the mid-tier 1 falls for Liquid Echo, and that's where all the problems are going to start beginning, right? Invades are going to be more prominent for Kyle-Teasy, even honestly with this with this considerable lead, 9,000 gold on him alone. But when we look at the damage dealt, you can see that Sanji, again, with less items, less econ, less gold, is still having some relevant numbers.
Which is the allegory of this whole situation. Liquid Echo, the more aggressive team. If you try to take out Sanji, you still have Benny Cutie and Sanford to deal with. That's not a clear go at a team fight because there's so many damage sources for Liquid Echo. So with that said, Falcons AP BREN are playing the map. A huge push up top, in mid, down bottom. Kyle-Teasy did leave that there. Now Kyle-Teasy, he has a big question to answer, like, who do I hit with a heavy spin? He's only been using it to disperse, really.
Pretty much. I think he's been also just holding it for as long as possible during these turtle fights as well. I mean even the Lord fight, he basically wasn't even there, so I can't even say just yet. But now, with Guardian's Helmet, that's going to keep him alive a little bit longer. However, Falcons AP BREN, at this point of time, right, after the Lord push, really good punish, right? You found 2 kills, you got the Lord, but now you've gotten every single outer turret. You can see now there's a much clearer lead for Falcons AP BREN. 5,000 gold, now looking to extend it to at least 6 or 7 if they don't lose the next fight.
Yep, the biggest so far in this 12-minute bout. Now the purple in jeopardy for Liquid Echo. Are they going to try to save this for them? Ogwin coming in through the line of fire, does survive with a motivation roar, and Falcons AP BREN just going to be happy with playing footsies.
I think at this point in time, that motivation roar, especially, oh yeah, he's already got the flash as well as the favor. He's going to be topping up his teammates really, really easily, allowing Falcons AP BREN to continuously go back to the fight.
And himself too, he has the Oracle. So he can take maybe a few hits, maybe a few volleys from Sanji's Feathered Airstrike, and still be there for that delayed Minoan Fury. I think that's been a key in their success so far, by pulling the trigger very, very late.
Oh, speaking of pulling the trigger here, that's going to be a penalty zone gone.
No one home, hits the buff barely. I wonder what FLAPTeasy was thinking.
I think FLAPTeasy was like, if I happen to clip him, we go. If nothing, we just back away. There's a lot of disengage mechanics.
Yeah, which makes sense. If that was an all-in, he would have done the animation cancel flicker, because it's still up. So maybe he was just baiting something out from Liquid Echo. The cavalry did not bite.
I mean, they gotta tickle him somehow, right? Especially when you're going for these coin flips. This is a relatively safe coin flip.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? Just to get a little bit of a and get a reaction out of them. But still, stone cold from the side of Liquid Echo. If there's any momentum that they have to generate, it's first figuring out a way to lock Kyle-Teasy down and then bait Super Marco in. All of this on condition, though. Ogwin and FLAPTeasy have just been absolute brick walls.
Lord Dance already upon us. Kyle-Teasy and JP showing themselves. The rest of Liquid Echo making themselves scarce. Ogwin spots a couple more. Kyle-Teasy working on his purple, and JP holding his ground here at the Y-brush.
They're going to take their time with this again. This is the calm before the storm. The waves are pushing in. It's not in the favor of Liquid Echo. They've got to do their housekeeping while Falcons continue to somewhat play this dance. They don't want to overextend here walking into that Y-brush, but now that they know where Kyle-Teasy is, that's a lot of relief.
That's right. I wonder if they know where Sanji is too, and Benny Cutie. Sanford just barely making his way to the fight. Ogwin catches a few hits. The Sanji, already spent up. Tempts the blades up. Down goes the Farsa. Minoan Fury into the back line. Benny Cutie spearing away for his life. Kyle-Teasy gonna be kiting through. Few catches Sanford, puts him down to less than half health. Same situation for JP. JP coming in, Earth Shatter, and onward. No one home. They let go of the conceal by JP. Gonna try to relocate. Caught by Few. Flickering back. Oh, caught in, and there's a jump by Marco. Gets caught into the wall. They need to kite through. In comes a penalty zone.
He's hit hard, and now they're jumping forward to Marco on Sanford.
Oh, he finds one and another. 2 free kills for Falcons AP BREN. Kyle TZ in trouble. Not before he takes out Kyle TZ. TZ's on the ground. JP and Sanji, the only ones left. They're going to crack right through. The inhibitor of the base is exposed.
15 minutes into this game, and the Crystal is under threat.
Oh, Sanji gonna throw them out. Can he? There's a wave. The Minoan Fury spent in. They gotta respect the firepower. There's no wave in mid.
I mean, 13 seconds on Benicuri and Sanford. Can he hold? He's gonna try. Penalty zone's out.
They force it through. They're gonna force it through. The brute force damage of Falcons AP BREN. Draw first.